I finally decided to go ahead and make a video for all the idiots that continue trying to argue with me about this specific aspect of Dark Souls. Everybody is too busy trying to force their opinions into this and on me, as well as saying stupid-ass comments like, my 6-year-old cousin can figure this out, you must be dumb, or you have autism, and all this other horse shit that has nothing to do with anything, instead of actually focusing on what the fuck is really being talked about. So, I am going to use this video to apply nothing but what the game says. There's going to be no opinions used, no nothing. Straight what the game says to do, and only that. I'm also going to take all the comments that people say about what this game says to do, and actually pull up what the game says to do, and compare it, and see if what the game says is the same as what people say the game says. So, to start this, I'm going to tell you I've already picked the shield up off of this corpse around the corner. Now, taking one of the comments that people say, every single person has said to me, this game explains to you how to equip an item. So that's the first thing we're going to focus on. We're not going to have any opinions. This is what the fucking game says. So, people say that the game explains to you how to equip an item. So, I'm going to first read this message. Okay, does this message say anything about how to equip an item? No. It just says, start opens will open the menu, and the arms icon is the change equipment screen. So I don't know how the fuck people are saying the game explains stuff to you and applying it to this. They're adding information that doesn't exist. Now, I'm going to go to the start menu and go to the arms icon. But before I open it, I'm going to explain it to you. Any game in existence you play ever has 3 steps in order to equip something. And the steps are always done in the same order. First, you open the screen. Secondly, you find the item on the screen and you highlight it. Third, once the item has been found and highlighted, you press the Equip Item button. Those are facts. You can't deny it. That is how every game in existence works when you want to equip an item. So, the fact that the game is basically saying I need to equip my shield, that's what this whole thing is about. That means, on the change equipment screen, when I open it, the shield is supposed to be there. Again, people will try to force their opinions. Oh, no, it doesn't say that. No, that's exactly what the fucking game says. Stop trying to bend what it says to try to be right. The game says you're going to use the change equipment screen to change the shield. Every fucking game in existence usually has the item on the screen that tells you to change. There's no arguing that. That's a fact. It's not an opinion. So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to see something here. Okay, the square I have highlighted is blank. Now, taking into account, there is no information on the screen whatsoever that explains to you how to equip the item, even though everybody says the game explains perfectly how to equip an item. I don't see any messages on the screen about how to equip an item. It's not there, so don't try to force an opinion into this, because the game does not explain it, so people need to stop saying the game explains this. Period. There's nothing to say about that any further. Now, next thing I'm going to focus on is there are 5 options at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to focus on 2 of them specifically. Okay, X says it's the unequip button. Okay, that means A is the equip button. That's how that is. This is a European game and they're just using enter as equip. Now, that brings me to the following point. I've gotten a bunch of people that have argued with me about this specific aspect that I'm about to bring up now in voice chat, and I asked them, have you pressed X on an empty square to unequip an item? They said no. And they all said the reason they didn't do it is because the item is not there to unequip. You see how that works? You don't press X on an empty square. Since X is unequip, A is equip, and the game is strictly telling you only to equip the shield is not there. I don't give a shit what anybody says that this says enter. You press A on the screen, you are not only a fucking idiot, but you have not done what the game says and you just went off and did whatever the fuck you want. On top of that, you defied how every game in existence has you equipping items. You do not highlight a blank square and press A with nothing highlighted. You don't do it in any other fucking RPG game or any other game in existence. Why the fuck would you bother doing it here? There is absolutely no reason for anybody to press A on the screen because there's nothing there to press A on. I can't believe how fucking stupid people are to try to argue this point. X? You don't press X on the fucking screen. What the fuck are you pressing A for? I am sick to death of fucking people trying to argue semantics on this. The developers did not put any information on the screen. They didn't tell you that there's a sub-menu. And there's no reason for anybody to press A, which is the same reason they didn't press X. You're not going to tell me you didn't press X, but you pressed A. That's bullshit. And anybody that fucking did this is a fucking idiot. Because why the fuck would you go around and play every game in existence, only press A on highlighted items in your inventory to equip them, but yet you wouldn't do the same thing here? That doesn't make any fucking sense. And everybody that's trying to argue this is just saying, well, it says A enter on the screen. Yeah, it does say that, but you would never fucking do that because there's no indication for anything for you to press A on here. I don't give a shit if you guess what to do. This is about what you would not do because of how you play every other game in existence. So people need to stop fucking trying to argue semantics with this. The screen is fucked up, the developers fucked it up, and that's how they did it. There's nothing you can say to argue this point, period. This is it. That's all there is to it. End of discussion.
My cat's in heat, and every time I say or yell the word pork at it, it puts its ass in the air and meows. Pork! Poor cat. Pork! Pork! This poor cat.
I'll go first.